Yes, we are very much in favour, and 7 out of 10 people actually want water to be in public ownership. It's the normal way of doing things across the world, and England has chosen to do things in a very strange way. We're effectively handing over these monopolies to a handful of shareholders around the world and letting them rip us off. They've been doing it for the past 35 years.
Who is letting them rip us off?
Well, we, the public, represented by our government, which unfortunately has been allowing this to carry on.
Which bit of the government?
Well, it's a mixture. So Ofwat is now, holding shareholders to account a little bit more, and there's this standoff that we're seeing between Ofwat and ThamesWater. However, Ofwat and the Environment Agency, particularly the Environment Agency, has been underfunded. And if you look at the track record of privatisation, we've seen £72 billion flowing out in dividends to shareholders around the world. We've seen sewage pouring into our rivers and seas, leakage levels of around a fifth. And then what we're doing is we're propping up these companies. So for Thames Water customers, 25p in every pound that we spend on our bills is servicing this debt mountain of £18 billion that Thames Water has created over the years in order to fund its shareholders.
So why should the public, the taxpayer, assume that both that debt and that risk by nationalising it?
So what we need to do, we are already paying for this. We're already on the hook for this. And so the question is, do we want to spend the next 35 years allowing this leakage of shareholder dividends to flow out of the system? So what we need
These leakage of shareholder dividends also include the pension funds of UK workers.
Well, it includes one pension fund, the University Superannuation Scheme. And what I would recommend to the government to be responsible and to the pension fund itself is that UK pensions should be banned from investing in these kind of too big to fail essential public infrastructure like Thames Water. Because what we need to do is bring this essential infrastructure into public hands so that money...
Would you include telecoms in that?
Sorry?
Would you include telecoms in that? People need broadband to work, people need the internet to live. Would you include telecoms too?
Telecoms is a slightly more complicated one, but look at water, energy, railways, buses, Royal Mail. All of these are essential infrastructure that we're actually, at the moment, just handing over money to shareholders around the world. We're getting a worse service, we're paying more, and we have no accountability. Right now, the government has a huge opportunity to say, that's it, game's up. We're bringing water companies into public hands. And yes, we are on the hook for the debt. The debt would have to be refinanced, but that would be lower cost in the public sector. Some of it would be devalued. And what it would mean is that shareholders wouldn't be extracting profit in an ongoing way. At the moment, we've got sewage flowing in our rivers and seas. We can't invest in that infrastructure while we allow, the governments of Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, China, the Canadian Pension Fund to be benefiting from all of our bills.
All right.
We need to actually bring this into public ownership, which is what a majority of Conservative voters want in this country.
Thank you very much indeed. Cat Hobbs, founder and director of We Own It. Matthew Brooker is Bloomberg opinion columnist covering business and infrastructure. Thank you for coming on. Your piece is written, London's water standoff is a game of chicken. Why is it a game of chicken, Mr. Brooker?
I'm sorry, I've just lost audio. I can't hear anything.
I do apologise. That's not going to work from my point of view if you can't hear the question. We'll try and come back to you in a few moments' time once we've sorted this particular separate problem with